Alex, I spent 3 hours yesterday trying to peel a 3D printed bracket off a heated bed, and by the time it finally popped loose, I'd managed to gouge a trench in the build plate and snap the part clean in half. It felt like trying to perform heart surgery with a sharpened spatula.
Please tell me there's video. I need to see the master craftsman wrestling with a piece of plastic and losing.
It was humbling. Truly. I was using ABS, which I used to swear by because it's tough as nails, but it's like trying to tame a feral cat. It warps if a breeze hits it, and the smell, honestly, my shop started smelling like a tire fire in a basement.
Well, according to the blog today, you're just living in the past, Tiger. Apparently, ABS is effectively a dinosaur. We're all moving to ASA now?
It's about time. ASA, acrylonitrile styrene acrylate for the chemistry nerds, is basically the cool, well-behaved younger sibling of ABS. It gives you all that structural oomph, but it doesn't throw a tantrum during the print. Plus, it doesn't crumble into dust the moment the sun touches it.
Wait, so I can actually leave my prints outside?
Exactly. If you're printing stuff for your truck or garden tools, ASA is the gold standard. It's got that UV resistance that ABS lacks. Using ABS for outdoor gear is like wearing a chocolate suit to a beach party. It's just a countdown to disaster.
Speaking of printers, I saw the price tag on that new production workhorse you were looking at. 30 grand? Tiger, that's literally a down payment on a house. Or a very nice boat. Who is buying a $30,000 FDM printer?
People who are tired of playing will it or won't it with hobbyist machines. This thing isn't for printing little jade dragons or multicolored Yoda heads. It's a dual material beast built for one thing: high volume precision parts. It uses dissolvable support material, which is the real magic.
Explain that for the rest of us who still struggle with hot glue.
Imagine building a stone arch. Usually, you have to build a wooden frame to hold the stones up until the top goes in. Then you have to painstakingly wiggle the wood out. With this machine, the wood just melts away in a water bath. You're left with complex internal geometries that would be impossible to clean up by hand. For a business owner, it's not a toy. It's a factory that doesn't take lunch breaks or complain about the humidity.
Okay, but if I'm not running an aerospace firm, what about the Swiss Army knife printer? The Pro-Colored X1. It does UV printing, laser cutting, and stickers. It sounds like those 5-in-1 kitchen gadgets that end up in a junk drawer.
I had the same knee-jerk reaction. Usually when a tool tries to do everything, it does nothing well. But the secret sauce here is the ink system.
Tell me the secret sauce.
It's the circulation. White ink is notorious for being a nightmare. It's full of heavy pigments that settle and clog your lines if you don't use it every 10 minutes. This unit has 250 milliliter tanks that keep the ink moving constantly. It means a guy like me can leave the shop for a long weekend, come back, and not have to spend 4 hours cleaning a gunked up print head with a needle and a prayer. For a maker mogul trying to run a side hustle, that reliability is where your profit actually lives.
Speaking of maker moguls, you were talking about dog magnets earlier. I thought you were a serious woodworker, Tiger. Why are we talking about fridge ornaments?
Because pride doesn't pay the electric bill, Alex. I love a hand-cut dovetail as much as the next guy, but that takes 20 hours and sells to a very niche crowd. If you can take a scrap of plywood that's destined for the burn pile, spend 30 seconds on a laser cutter to make a custom silhouette of someone's golden retriever, and sell it for $10, that's a 900% markup.
So you're saying I should stop trying to build a $500 oak table and start selling $10 magnets?
I'm saying you do both. You use the batchable stuff, the magnets, the custom tumblers, the boutique candles, to fund the soul projects. It's about keeping the machines running in the background while you're doing the heavy lifting. The most successful makers I know are the ones who have mastered the impulse buy.
Okay, let's pivot. We talked about printers and magnets, but the data you shared about electricians, nearly 10% growth? That's wild compared to everything else.
It's the great electrification, as some people are calling it. Everything is going digital, smart, or electric. We are building a world that requires way more copper than we have people to pull it. If a young person asked me today where the most recession-proof seat in the house is, I'd point them straight toward an electrical apprenticeship.
But it's not just pulling wire anymore, right? You mentioned the National Electrical Code changes.
Exactly. You can't just be a grunt who knows how to screw in a light fixture. The new code is leaning heavily into low-voltage integrated systems, smart homes, solar arrays, home battery backups. It's becoming a tech job that requires a tool belt. If you're the specialist who understands how the smart home hub talks to the lighting grid, you aren't just an electrician, You're the most important person on the job site.
Just don't tell the plumbers that. They already have enough of an ego.
Hey, I've got love for the pipe fitters, but you can't run a Wi-Fi router on water pressure.
Let's get back to the DIY mastery side of things. You were geeking out over hardware-free drawers this morning. Give me the pitch. Why would I spend 3 hours carving a wooden slide when I could just buy a metal one for $5 at the big box store?
Because those $5 slides feel like, well, they feel like $5. There is a specific visceral satisfaction to a well-fitted wood-on-wood drawer slide. It has this whoosh sound, a pneumatic puff of air when it closes, that you just can't replicate with steel ball bearings.
Is this where you tell me some story about a drawer you built in 1994 that's still sliding like butter?
Close. It was a spice cabinet for my aunt. I used wax and a tight tolerance piston fit. To this day, it's smoother than my modern kitchen drawers. It's also about the all-wood aesthetic. When you pull that drawer out and someone sees there's no ugly zinc-plated hardware, just craftsmanship, it changes the whole vibe of the piece. It's like the difference between a store-bought cake and one your grandmother spent all day on. You can taste the effort.
Okay, I'm sold on the whoosh sound. But tell me about this story building first thing. It sounds like a fast track to living in a construction zone forever.
It's a bold move, for sure. The idea is you build the footprint of a multi-story building, but you finish the ground floor completely first. You move in, or better yet, you rent it out, and use that immediate cash flow to fund the second floor. It turns your home into a self-funding asset while it's still being born.
That sounds stressful. Living under a construction site?
It's not for the faint of heart. You're basically living in a workspace. But in an era where housing costs are jumping off a cliff, it's a brilliant way to build equity without drowning in a mortgage. It's the ultimate mogul strategy, shifting from how much does this cost to how much can this make?
It reminds me of the Bharat BuildCon Expo highlights, those eco-friendly bricks and modular setups. Everything seems to be moving toward making construction more accessible for the regular person.
We're entering a golden age of DIY, Alex. Between modular bricks that fit together like Legos and a 3D printer that can churn out your business inventory while you sleep, the barrier to entry has never been lower. You just have to be willing to get your hands dirty and maybe break a few parts along the way.
And maybe buy a new build plate after you gouge it with a spatula?
Exactly. That's the unplanned research fee for being a maker.
So, what's the big takeaway for today, before you go back to wrestling with that printer?
I think it's about choosing your path, but recognizing they all overlap. Whether you're getting certified as a Sparky, batching out magnets for your Etsy shop, or mastering a traditional joinery skill, you're taking control of the physical world. Don't just be a consumer. Be the person who knows how the machine works, how the ink flows, and how the wood slides.
Well said. Just maybe wear safety glasses next time you're peeling that plastic?
Duly noted. I'm heading back in. There's a pile of ASA calling my name and a spool of filament that's actually going to behave itself today.
I'll believe it when I see it. Thanks for the breakdown, Tiger.
Anytime. Get out there and build something, folks.